I'm like, that is not what I wanted to
Yeah.
hear.
Yeah, I was just chatting with her, but now we're getting started.
Oh.
Oh,
Well,
well, you can say
welcome.
hi, but no one wants to see what you
No
look
one,
like.
nobody
It's
wants to
hot
look at
here.
me.
It's like 95 degrees here today. It is, ugh.
Oh, yeah, it's hot here too. It's hot here too. Hi, everybody. All right, we are live. Hello.
And
Oh, good.
Shannon.
You wore your 4th of July stuff too. I
Hello.
want to get one more wear out of these earrings.
Yeah. I still have 4th of July nails. That's all I have left.
Oh, you know me. You
These
know,
don't go with anything. They worked on the actual 4th of July, but they have not worked with anything else since.
no problem. Look, I have a rainbow on my head.
Oh, oh,
Uh, Rachel sent me this really cool rainbow thing. Ah, yay, Stephanie! And it's reflecting rainbow. I keep trying to, the rainbows are chasing me. Um, Hi, happy new year. Happy new year. Donna Marshall's on Facebook. Hello, Stephanie Granger, sales director Naomi Eamon, Shannon Cole, senior sales director Amy Hovland. So before I forget, I want to talk about upcoming schedule really quick before we get into everything we want to get into tonight. Hang on a second. Let me set thermostat to 71 degrees. There. Okay. It's getting stuffy in here. I am wanting to do our local seminar awards, and where we will zoom in our out of town winners Monday, July 20th. Hi, Lisa Woolley. Hello, hello. So Naomi and I are, scheming on something somewhere fun and all of that. But will that work for you, Amy? Monday, July 20th, to do our seminar, our awards where we'll meet locally, but we'll have you guys zoom in. Will that work
oh,
for you?
yep, yep.
Monday, July 20th. Okay, so Monday, July 20th. So we're working on location here locally. So just wanted to make sure I put that out there to you guys. And then also for our local girls, next Tuesday night, the 14th, I think it is Mobile at Beverly's. So if you've got Mobile, start working, get out your list, start working your list. Hello, Lisa Woolley. And let me see. And then um, uh, Salt Church will be Monday, July 27th, and that will be um, Minnesota Takeover. Okay, on Zoom and Facebook Live. So just want to make sure I pitch those dates to
What
you.
was that date?
That's Monday, July 27th. Will
Okay.
that work for you?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so I just want to pitch that out there too. I'm in the process of trying to get that all out. Oh, dang it. Oh, okay. So other breaking news, super breaking news, is that seminar registration is open until July 26th. This is massive. I'm so glad the company did this. I think they kind of got a clue that with it being in August, we really needed that time. Yeah, it is, but I'll celebrate my birthday on another day. It's a grown-up birthday. I mean, we can celebrate it the day before. Listen, we are celebrating Kathy Higginson's birthday this Sunday, meeting Pat Monahan and Train. Okay, second row, baby. That is my birthday. So I will feel greatly celebrated on the 12th of July. Okay, yes. But anyways, so the breaking news is that seminar registration is open now until July 26th. And so I want everybody to think a new thought. Is there one more team member that should be there with you? Is there somebody who's not registered that you could reconsider? Is there someone that you love that's one of your favorite people that isn't even on your team yet that you could share this business with, and then they could make a decision as a brand new consultant to go with us? So let's really think outside the box. It's one thing to post the information, but Arlene would always tell us that one-on-one conversations and asks and like, do you understand? Do you have questions? I want you there by my side is massive. So I'm super excited to, we've got it. Shannon's registered, Naomi's registered, Amy's registered, Patty's registered. We have, and so many more. Sharon Clark's baby, grandbaby, little girl was born just a couple of hours ago. So she is with her daughter and the baby and her daughter are doing well. And she's registered for seminar. We're going to have a great group. Hello, Regina Scott. Hello, Regina Scott. So I wanted to make sure I talked about that as well. So we are going to dive right in and talk about all you can be, do, and have in the new seminar year. And, you know, just like um, with New Year's Eve, we get, or a new year, when a new year turns over, we get a new year in Mary Kay. And I really want you to think for a minute. I really want you to think a minute. Where do you want to be this time next year? Beginning of July 2027. Oh my gosh, next year my birthday will be 7/27/27. That's got to be significant, right? So where do I want to be celebrating July 27th, 27, right? Or where do you want to be July 1st next year? Hello, Cassandra.
Hello.
And you know, I'm reading this book that, and this is one of my goals. So if you, oh my gosh, I have so much I'm trying to tell you guys. So the Million Dollar Message, the Million Dollar Messengers are on a break until July 13th. And there is a message on there from National Sales Director Christian Sharp. Hello, Yvette, about dreaming. And it's very, very good. It really is good. So it helps you dream, it helps you visualize. And hello, Miss Gail. And I'm reading this book right now, Visioneering. And I'll be honest with you, I learned my whole early Mary Kay career that leaders are readers. And I would devour a book in 2 or 3 days. And with all the distraction of social media and all of that, I will get a book and I'll get a fourth or half of the way through and I literally just will not finish it. I mean, I can't even remember the last time I actually finished a book if that wasn't the book of the Bible. And so I told myself, I said, you know what, in this new seminar year, I'm going to read 5 pages a day because God keeps bringing me back to Nehemiah. And I'm like, I'm going to start visioneering because that whole book is about vision, but it's through the lens of the book of Nehemiah. And I'm like, I don't care. Like the other night, I got in bed and I'm like, I'm not going to go to sleep until I read my 5 pages. Now it might bleed over into more, but even just a little bit that I've read since setting that goal has really, I just helped given me clarity. And oh, good. The joy of the Lord is your strength, right? Yes,
Yes.
so much in Nehemiah. So, said all that to say this visioneering book, you know, I have over my career, I've talked about this a lot, where early in my career, I basically was like, set goals that I wanted to achieve. And I said, oh God, these are my goals. And, you know, when you help me accomplish them, I will give you the glory, you know. And then I went through some disappointments and some humbling times. And I realized that that was incorrect. And in James, it says, we should never say, I'm going to go here and there and build this business within a year and profit this much. It says we should say, if the Lord wills, I will go here and there and in a year profit this much and build this business. And so I have up until, you know, now kind of almost been too loose because I was so worried I didn't want to overstep or be presumptuous with the Lord, right? I'm like, I want your will. I want your will. But this book is really helping me kind of find that middle ground. And so of just truly asking, I mean, asking you will receive, seeking you will find, knock and the door will be open to you. I do know it's obvious that I'm meant to make a mark in Mary Kay and to encourage others to make their mark in Mary Kay. I mean, that's just obvious that that's part of my life work. I know that how far God will take me, that's him to show me. But I do know that. And so, without clear vision of your very next step. Now, I do know this as well. If God showed us the whole plan from beginning to end, we would trust in the plan and we would be totally self-sufficient and we would not walk with him or learn to trust him or depend on him. So that is why he gives us those little glimpses of where he's taking us, but then kind of says, all right, what's the next step? And you're going to need me. It's not something you can do on your own, but you can do it with me. With me, all things are possible, right?
Yeah.
So having said that, that's why tonight I want you to give yourself permission to dream. I want you to give yourself permission to visualize. I'm going to really show you what you can put. Hi, Patty. Happy New Year. I want to show you some things you can put on your vision board. When you're finished with your vision board, now don't get into creative avoidance. If you spend a week putting together a beautiful vision board, you are in creative avoidance. Okay. But it's something where you can put up the poster board where you're going to put it and add stuff to it, right? Like start just making it and playing with it and moving stuff around. Okay. I want to give, because I mean, I feel like I can say this in this group because we're in a private group right now. But my friend Taylor is 29 years old and she has outlived anything that anybody ever thought she would live. She went through 2 rounds of super aggressive cancer treatment and a transplant in her teens, and she'll never live a normal life. Her skin is decaying. She has no hair. She just got out of ICU, and it's just sheer will that she got out of ICU.
I see.
And so, was I disappointed where we landed June 30th? Of course, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But guess where I was July 1st? Her mom is a single mom, and she asked me to come sit with her while she went and cleaned a house because she has a cleaning business and just didn't want her to be alone. They were talking about nursing homes. They were talking about, end of life stuff. And I'm sitting there spending time with Taylor, and I'm like, Kathy Higginson, you have nothing to be ungrateful about. Like, you need to be about making the very most of the breath in your lungs, in your eyes that see, your ears that hear, the measure of health and strength you have, the gifts, the talents, the opportunities, the relationships. Get up and run your race, because there's people that literally would love my worst day. They would love to have, right? We want to operate in that, you guys. And, no matter what your age range is, I mean, I say it all the time, Joshua, Noah, Daniel, I could go on and on. We're doing some of their greatest things with and for God well into their 80s and beyond. So being of some kind of age, if we've got health and strength, we have basically a responsibility to show the people who are coming up behind us how it's done. And so, that is my mindset coming in. And I literally wrote, because I've been journaling out, the death of my mother and planning her funeral and everything. And of course, it's weaved in with, not hitting the Cadillac numbers and where do we go from here and all of that. And I wrote in my journal, a setback is just a setup for a comeback.
Yes.
Setback is just a setup for a comeback. And I want to tell you guys this, out of anything I've prayed over the last year of working so hard is, God, your will be done.
Yes.
And so I'm at peace. I'm at peace. God's will was done. Why? I don't know. But maybe as we're pulling up lead or, developing leaders, it's good for you to see.
Yes.
Sometimes we do the cha-cha. It's
Yeah.
not the end of the world. It's not our identity. It's not the end of the world. Keep going. And just for my unit, talking about vision, because I'm like, God, I mean, I've just been begging him, give me clarity. And I looked at the numbers because of our push and hard work. I mean, I've worked harder than I've ever worked in my life this last year to really catch up momentum from the care of my parents and all of this. And we can take take what we did in April, May, and June and add July, August, September to it. The numbers are not that hard. And literally pick up an Equinox and then turn around and turn it in and pick up a Cadillac. And that's, I mean, I'm just sharing with you, that's my goal. And I have held back from writing the vision and making it plain because I don't want anybody to feel obligated. I don't want anybody to da 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 da. Guess what? Some people are going to be a part of it and rally and have a blast, and some people could care less. And that's okay. That is okay, right? We are all a volunteer army. But that is the vision for our unit. And then my vision for our Mary Kay family is to see Amy and Naomi and Patty pick up their career cars this year, this seminar year, to see car driving units. So if you represent these units, and that's one of the things I wrote in my notes. If you're like, I'm adrift, I don't know, I can't be in touch with my vision, you know what? Let your vision be contributing to your unit's win and the strength of our company. I know for a fact, Kathy Higginson was born July 27th, 1971, to contribute to the strength of Mary Kay Ash's dream. I know that it's obvious. It's totally obvious to me. Where God's going to take me in that, I don't know. But that is my vision for our Mary Kay family. That is, and my vision for our unit is to turn right back around July, August, September, earn our Cadillac, be back in that Cadillac status. Why? Not for me, for you, for our customers, and to contribute to the strength of our company, and then turn around and make this our circle of excellence year. That is my vision. That is my goal. That is what I'm working for. Now I'm going to tell you, what is my strategy for that? Because yes, let's set a vision. Let's put it on the vision board. But y'all, we got to break it down to monthly and daily actionable things. The big things, the little things lead to the big things. Success is hidden in our daily routine when nothing's glamorous, when nothing's sexy, when nothing's shiny. Unicorns aren't skipping through your room. Confetti isn't flying through the air. No one's clapping. No one's cheering you on. That's where the big things come from. And it doesn't have to be working all day long. And I just want to quickly say this. That's one of the things that I've learned in this last year of working so hard, that we've got to Sabbath. Sabbath is a gift from God for us, for our mental health, for our physical health. And Sabbath for me can't always be on a Sunday because, for those of us that really serve on Sundays, it's not a Sabbath, right? I mean, serving all morning and then coming home and sleeping for 3 hours out of total exhaustion, that is not a Sabbath, right? And with Bill's schedule and everything. So my question to you is, Matthew 6:33 says, seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. So what is your plan to put God first this year? Maybe having your consistent morning quiet time, or maybe making your morning quiet time a little bit longer, or asking one of us. We've got world-class leaders here. Is there a book we recommend, or a book of the Bible we recommend, or a podcast? What is your spiritual growth plan? Because guess what? Nehemiah rebuilt the wall, but he was way more concerned about the spiritual condition of the people. So what is your spiritual growth plan? Number one. And number two, when are you going to rest, and when are you going to Sabbath? Or Sabbath and rest at the same time. When are you going to weekly do that? On the seventh day, God rested. God doesn't have to rest. He did that to show us how to rest, right? And Sabbath doesn't mean I don't want to get a whole thing about it, but I mean for me, like going out and laying pine straw and being in my yard and feeding the birds and washing my dog, that's a Sabbath to me because that's just fun. That's stewarding my, so what does that look like for you? Schedule yourself, because then when it's time to go back and do the work, you will be clear, encouraged, empowered, ready to go, right? So, all right. So let's break down all the ways that you can win the seminar year. And I just highly encourage you, and refresh. That's right. Get your poster board. Go ahead and put it up somewhere and start working. Yes, yes, I'm so proud. A new, fresh one, you guys. Don't just update what you've got. Fresh.
Naomi and I have the same goals.
Yes. Yeah. Fresh, new. I mean, you can take some of the things you like off of your other one, but make it fresh and new, and print stuff off, go on to InTouch, print stuff off. I posted some things in Heat Nation, some cool tracking sheets and stuff like that. But don't just make it Mary Kay goals. And I'm going to go into more detail about this, but I am begging you all to set a financial goal. This is a business. And if you want to team build, do you want my best team building tip? Is telling people you're working with what you're doing with your profits for your household. Cassandra and I were talking today, and I'm going to give you this plan in just a minute. But, if you profited and $700 a month in your business. Now, again, is that are you becoming a millionaire or whatever? No, but that's, let me make sure I've got my math right. But I mean, I think that's $8,400 a year, 700 times 12. Yeah, $8,400 a year. That is substantial to someone's household. That's a big bill paid off. Or what if you put $8,400 in your retirement account? Or what if you put that in an emergency savings? Or what if you put that towards paying off your house payment early, or into a college fund for your kids or grandkids? Or whatever it is, $8,400. I'm sorry, that is good money for what I'm going to, and that is a part-time consultant can do that. So imagine for a sales director working the plan that I'm working, having just even a couple of people in your unit working this plan, and having your director commissions, or our team leaders and elite team leaders also having your commissions on top of that. So, again, that going to make somebody be able to walk away from maybe a job or something? No, but it's definitely a start. It's a seed, right? The scripture, I can never remember, it's 3:10 or 4:10, Zechariah, but do not despise the small beginnings, for the eyes of the Lord rejoice to see the work begin. It reminds me of, Nathan has his first big boy job. And, I sat down with him and I was like, look, give, save, spend, right? And so we talked about the math, and, he was like, you mean I need to tithe this much money? And I was like, yes. It was one thing when he would go do a music gig for $100 and he'd kick $10 to the church. But now he was like, oh my God. But I said, God says, test me on this. See if I don't open the windows of heaven and pour down blessings on you, right? And so we got to tell our army of dollar bills where to go, you guys. So give, save, spend, and invest. He with his job, investments are going to start, but then he needs to open up his own investments. And it's never too late. I've listened to so many. I mean, he and Savannah, I mean, they're getting started early. I've listened to so many Dave Ramsey's where they talk to people in their 60s, even 70s, like, look, here's a plan. You can catch up. You can do, there's things you can do. It's never too late. And God's economy is not the world's economy. And again, when we are stewarding well what comes through our hands, it's not money is not the root of evil. The love of money is the root of all evil. And guess what? You can love money unhealthily and sinfully, whether you have it or don't have it. So let's separate ourselves from the love of money and steward well, be good stewards of what comes through our hands, right? Whoa, y'all didn't know. I didn't even know you're going to get a sermon tonight. Okay. But again, this is my point. If you can look at a team member potential team member, so you're talking about the business, and you tell them what you financially are doing for your family with your business, even on a part-time level, and you say, I can show you that too. That's your best team building tip right there, right? To authentically say whatever it is. I set aside this much money and paid for my daughter's Christian school, or whatever it is, investments, you guys get it. Okay. Hi, Aretha. Hello. The sun is chasing me. I'm trying to get away from the sun. Okay. So having said all of that, for those of you that are taking notes, or you can go back and watch the replay, and I'm going to take this video, I'm going to turn this into a YouTube link and share it again too. But so number one, what is your plan for spiritual growth this seminar year? Number two, we're going to get our vision. We're going to write the vision and make it plain. We're going to ask God to sanctify it. We're going to ask God to just show us the next step and empower us to do so. Then we're going to take the big picture of the big seminar year. We're going to break it into quarterly, monthly, weekly, and daily goals and activity. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about. So here's all the ways that you can win. And let's talk about how you can win, and then we're going to talk about the breakdown. How about that? So Amy's going to do some screen sharing for us, because she's so good at it, and I'm not good at it. I don't know why. It just screws me up every time. So while she's doing that,
What do you want me to share first?
So let's share. Number 3 is like, let's pick our path. Let's pick our couple of focus. Now, I am going to say this. We're going to talk about several things tonight, and a confused mind does nothing. So listen, soak it in, and have a conversation with me, with your sales director, if you need clarity on what your path and your passion can be. Okay, but I will tell you this. Our 14 square tracker sheet is going to be your plan. I'll just tell you that right now. But I want to actually talk about, well, let's just talk about it. Let's talk about the square. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. All right. So let's talk about All-Star. Look at this.
All-Star.
The company is really beefing up the All-Star end of year prizes. So let me tell you this, the very next Star Consultant deadline is September 15th. And here we are, we're 4th of July and we're roasting hot dogs. But guess what? September 14th or 15th is going to be here before you know it. So you can get this super cute, look at Coach earrings and these Amy Krestenberg bags and wallets and a Coach wristlet. Oh, right. I love the wristlet. I love it. Okay, so this is for the new seminar year. And I posted this graphic in Heat Nation that you can rip it and print it. Okay. But look at those gorgeous Coach earrings. I mean, how fun is that? Super fun. So I say, and the tracking sheet we're going to give you is going to help you with this. Set a goal of being a star by September 15th. Being a star by September 15th is consistently shooting for $300 weeks in retail sales. $300 weeks in retail sales is going to give you the breakdown for your first level star. And if you did it once, you can do it again. If you find yourself playing the what if game, what if I go for it and I fail or I fall short? Just remember, all that work you put in follows you. It's never for nothing. It's never for nothing. Okay. So there we go. So that could be something you could put on your board. The star consultant, Mary Kay Ash, told us the two keys to success are hitch your wagon to a star, which is why it's so important to show up for meetings and events and things like that to see people that you relate to and
Okay.
have a track to run on. And the Star Consultant Program is our track. All right, so let's talk about the national courts for a minute. And all of these graphics are in
Okay.
Heat Nation that you can save and print.
National Court.
So the
Let's see.
national court, there's of sales, there's a diamond tennis bracelet. And I gotta tell you, I take the cash. I have a few rings, but I take the cash because I'm motivated by financial goals for my family. But I told Bill, I was walking with Bill, I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna take that tennis bracelet. Okay, let's be clear.
Mhm.
So, anyways, so that's 45,000. So that is averaging $1,000 retail weeks in personal sales. Here's the beauty of it. You have a whole seminar year ahead of you. Maybe you're not at $1,000 weeks yet, but hey, double, triple, quadruple your customer base, get in the field. We're going to talk about that for a minute. And then the last half of the seminar year, the wind is going to be at your back because all of those people are going to be reordering from you and giving you referrals. And so now is the time for action. It's like I've said a million times on Cheryl Fulcher's Zooms, can you imagine if Ulta and Sephora and Target and the department store said, it's July, it's hot, people are at the pool, at the beach, they're on vacation. Let's just shut our doors for the month of July and maybe in September people will start buying. No way. They're doubling down on specials and sales and new things and all of that. Okay. So you guys, people need and want what we have to offer. Okay. So here is look at that pink and white. That's the 500,000 ring. I know. Isn't that pretty? And then the B's, of course, are for 24 personal qualified um, team members. You guys, that's just two a month. That's just two a month. And so we have a tracking sheet. Show them the tracking sheet. And if the big courts seem overwhelming to you, go for Princess Court, go for half court, cut it in half. You're building your future either way, right? The prizes are fun, but you're building your future. Sometimes you're going to nail it, sometimes you're going to exceed it, sometimes you might fall short, but ultimately you're building your future. So why not try? Why not try? So that tracking sheet has all the details. You can cut it in half, you can cut it in fourth, but now is the time to level up. Why not you? Why not try? If you've already decided in your mind it's too big, you can't do it, you're little, you're this, you're that, you've already, if Mary Kay Ash told us, if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you're right. This has all of the tracking. This one right here should be in the middle of everybody's vision board. And again, choose your win. But why not go for broke? Who knows if the windows of heaven won't rain down on you, but you're not going to know if you don't try. You're not going to know if you don't try. All right. So, lastly, I want to talk about points to paradise. And there is, I want every single consultant on here, your assignment after we get off this, so consultant and director, as soon as we get off, I want you to go into InTouch, go to reports, and find your points to paradise. There's a report that tells you how much you have in and how much you have to go. And for us as sales directors, we had Stephanie's in the lead and the bold butterflies. You guys, that, and I'm seeing directors already post, they're already having people win the sunglasses and the purse. People are already doing it. People are already doing it. So why wouldn't we try? Why wouldn't we try the beautiful fair sunglasses? I'm not going to try to say it. The sunglasses, the crossbody, and a $2,000 Royal Caribbean credit that you can use towards anything you want Royal Caribbean. You could pay for your whole cruise with it, or you can put it towards a cruise. You can upgrade all the things. So points to paradise. Find that report and start tracking it. You can do it with your own sales. You can do it with your team building and sales. And then Mary Kay is going to give you opportunities to earn extra points. Like you get 500 points just for registering and attending seminar. There, and throughout the year, they're going to sprinkle in little ways to do it. All right. So here, no matter what your goal is, yes, go ahead, Shannon.
So on your points, when I've looked at the reports and my points, does that have your teams added in with it already?
That's a great question. Let's look at it together. But I am fairly certain, yes, it's any and every points that you've earned. I'm pretty sure, because Lynn Williams was like, "Oh my gosh, I have all these points." I'm like, "I know, don't stop now." But let's look at it together.
Okay.
Let's look at it together. Great question. But yes, because it is you and your team. So I would imagine that that is added in. Yes.
I didn't know if you were ready to talk about this sheet, but I wanted to make sure that we showed it because I love the simplicity and I love it.
Yes. Where will we find the trackers? You mean like the tracking sheet that Amy just showed, Regina? I just posted all of that in Heat Nation so that you guys can go in there and grab it. Let me know if that's not what. Okay, so all of,
Thank you.
okay. So all of that is going to cut. This is your path right here. This is it. This is your path, no matter, this is your launching pad right here. So this is also posted in that post. We know attract number, whoops, it went away.
Oh, I thought you were done.
No.
Sorry.
Whether you're a sales director or a consultant, this is your path. We know attract number grows. Use this grid to track your progress towards your monthly goal. So each square, each of these 14 squares equals $100 in retail sales. And if you look, there's a tiny little diagonal line if you want to do it by 50s. Okay, so each square is in half, so you can aim to sell 100 retail 14 times or 50 retail 28 times. Okay, so what's going to happen when you shoot for this every month? You're going to order your 600 wholesale order will be done. You can accumulate it. You don't have to do it all at once, but we did 1,400 because that gives you tax and shipping and Section 2 money. And you're going to put $600 to $700 profit in your pocket. So here it says, choose your path: facials, makeovers, in-person parties, Facebook parties, going live, posting on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok. And I also want to say, building your customer base. If you are totally adrift and you don't know where to start, go through your phone contacts, go through your Facebook, go through your social media, send everybody messages. If you don't have a Mary Kay consultant, may I be the one to serve you? May I add you to my Mary Kay VIP mailing list? And conversations will start from there. And if they say no thank you, or whoever says no thank you, give a super gracious response. Thank you so much for your honesty. If you hear of someone who needs Mary Kay, please send them my way. I've gotten awesome referrals from people who said no to me because of the way that I responded. They remembered. And then when they heard somebody asking about Mary Kay, they sent them my way. So talk to your sales director. Which of those is your path? Always share your My Shop link whenever you post. Have samples, little goodie bags. You know, I went to the dentist today. I did not go to the dentist without bringing a goodie bag with business cards, some candy, and some lipstick samples. All I had was lipstick samples, so I threw a bunch of lipstick samples in there and I put a book in there. Where if you go out of your house, go with something to put in the hands of somebody with your name on it. The more customers you add to your My Customer list, the more your reorders will grow your income over time. It gets easier and easier and easier the bigger the numbers get, you guys. So again, this takes you back to, if you follow this tracker every single month, you will be a star consultant every quarter. So I'm going to incentivize, because the company's not incentivizing it. So I'm going to incentivize for our family, our Mary Kay family. And we're going to not do Princess Queen Diva. We're going to keep it simple. And we're going to do 600 wholesale and 6 chats. Okay, so you can do one or the other or both. So what we're going to do in the month of July, when you accumulate 600 wholesale, and my passion is that you don't just sell to order 600, but that you sell to 1,400. So you're ordering 600 and profiting 600. That's the point. But I will gift you with 4 Prop It Up stands. Okay, those little Prop It Up stands. Mirrors, extenders. And if you do either the 6 chats or the 600 wholesale, you get the Prop Up stands. If you do both, I'm going to do the Prop Up stands and 4 mirrors to go with 4 Mary Kay mirrors. Okay, so are you guys excited about that? Are you happy about that?
Yeah.
Okay. We all need those and want those.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's the thing. Let's say you're like, it's too big. That's too big for me. I can't wrap my head around it. All right. We're going to do a half quart. If you do 300, you're going to get 1 Prop It Up stand. But you know what? Dang it. Your collection is started. And if you do 303 chats, you're going to get a Prop It Up stand and a mirror. I'm excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited about that. Every time I get out my Prop It Up stands, everybody's always like, oh my gosh, where did you get those? Da, 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 da. But it's just one of those things that you want them, but you don't want to spend the money on it.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys like that, that's our July. And then August, Rachel Rice is working on some rainbow branded bracelet set. You remember that blue set that Mary Kay came out with? Mm-hmm. It's going to be very similar to that set that we all loved so much. So that's going to be in August. So we'll talk about that in August. But I thought for July, we're going to be in the field. We're going to be doing parties and facials. We need our Prop It Up extenders, right? You love it? Okay. All right. So that's going to incentivize us. So now let's talk about daily. We talked about the year. We talked about the quarter. We talked about the month. Let's talk about the day, because this is what's going to separate the women from the girls, okay? Mary Kay Ash told us that 1 intense hour is worth a dreamy day. And my encouragement to you is to keep a notebook, an actual notebook of any and every bookable prospects. There you go. Every and any bookable prospect. And for sales directors, there can be a list for yourself and your unit. And 5 days a week, either schedule yourself for a power hour or 2 30-minute increments. And I just double dog dare you to work with that kind of focus 5 days a week, setting a timer. And obviously those of us that have bigger goals, we're going to do more than that. But what if just for the rest of July, you said, you know what? 5 days a week, I'm going to do a power hour 5 days a week, or 2 30-minute increments, if that makes more sense for you, for, whatever you have working around. You have your notebook, you've gone through your customer base, you've gone through your social media contacts, you've gone through your phone contacts, you've thought of people all over the United States. And if you need a script, reach out to me. If you want to run wording by me, or tell ChatGPT what you're trying to get across and see if it helps you kind of, I always say, make it personal. I don't want it to sound like AI, help me with the wording. But honestly, I've done it both ways. And honestly, when I just communicate with my own, I feel like I get a better response when sometimes I'll chat GPT it just to see if there's a tweak. And I kind of take my wording and the chat GPT wording and kind of make a script from there just to kind of get a suggestion. But if I'm tripped up on what I want to say, but here's the thing. It can't just be this mass, it can't just be going live or making a post. It's got to be me to you. Amy, I haven't heard from you in a while. Are you okay on your MK? I'm here to serve. Is there anything that I can do for you? And she's like, oh my gosh, yeah, there's some stuff I need. I'm so glad you reached out. Da, 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 da. You toss a ball, she tossed it back. And you say, you know what, Amy, it's been a while since we just got together, and I'd love to stripe you for this new foundation and maybe look at a summer look for you or something that'll take you into the fall. When are you least busy that we could get together? Right? Or I'm already predetermined a time at my kitchen table. These are my times at my kitchen table. Would you like to come? Or here's my beauty bars or whatever. She's, you know what? That would be great. Awesome. What's best for you? Da da da. You know what, Amy? If you brought a friend or two, I'll give you $25 product credit. Is that something that would interest you? No. Okay, great. Now we'll get together. Or, $25 free product? Sure. Do you see? It can't, we're, Arlene always said, every time I try to take a shortcut, I end up getting lost. We want to go, hi, sign up in Mary Kay, boom, right? And then we do that 50 times and now we're whatever, right? It doesn't work that way. You toss a ball, you look at the name and you think, what's the next best step for this person? What would be the most natural thing? Check on her product, see if she wants to get together. Maybe have your own makeover contest for the rest of July. Do you have some products you could bundle together and say, everyone I get together with and match their foundation and do a makeover on, if you allow me to post your after picture in my customer group, I'm going to put you into a drawing for a $50 product basket. When are you least busy that we could get together? So between time blocking, going through that customer base with a fine-tooth comb, even saying, Susie, I haven't heard from you in a while. I just want to make sure I have your right address and your email address, because I'm going to be I have some big goals this Mary Kay year, and I'm going to be sending out specials and discounts sometimes, new product launches, and I just want to make sure you're getting my information. Or don't be afraid if it's someone you haven't heard from in a while to say, I haven't heard from you in a while. Do you prefer to be taken off my list? And I always put no hard feelings, I promise, with little smiley faces, and they'll tell you sometimes they're like, yep, not interested. And then archive them. Don't delete them, archive them. Because, oh my gosh, I could tell you so many stories of, they're flim-flamming around with another line or whatever, or maybe their relatives started Mary Kay. And just like Dahlia, Rosie's mom said all those years ago, she'll be back. Often they come back, right? Don't let it, it's just business, you guys. It's just business. Sometimes you go to this shop, sometimes you go to that one, sometimes you go here, that grocery store, sometimes you go there. The person of the grocery store isn't saying, "Oh, God doesn't want us to have this grocery store anymore. She went to, you know what I mean? No, they're like, we have a great grocery store. We're going to make it awesome. Come shop with us. And if you don't, oh, you're missing out, right? And we're going to just keep on rocking with our brand and our way of doing things. But I'll tell you, the grocery stores that are heavy on customer service, right? Those are the ones that we want to go to, right? Or if you ever been to, you know, I'm not trying to diss Walmart Supercenter because I've come across some really great, but you know, it's like I can't find the oh, it's across the store on aisle 27. And I'm like, you know, I'm thinking, can you please take me over there and show me? This is a really big place, you know. But so you guys build your brand, and yeah, Publix is so good too. So, you know, again, in talking to Cassandra today, I love it. Cassandra said that she is really working on giving her Mary Kay customers a boutique experience when they buy from her. She was saying that she has these inexpensive prayer little inspiration cards that she just gets hers at the Dollar Tree, and she always makes sure she pops that in. And this was really smart. She said when someone does a web order with her, she mails them one of those inspiration cards. I thought that was really, really smart. She said, you know, she's upping her packaging, right? With tissue paper and thank you cards and all of those things. I love that Cassandra has scheduled herself every Monday and every Friday to give her team a touch. Monday is encouragement, and guess what? Telling them how she's working her business. So it's not her saying, hey, this is what all of you should do, but this is my action plan, right? For the month, for the week. And how can I best serve and support you? Just let me know. And then Friday is inspiration and encouragement. I thought that, and she schedules herself to do that. I thought that was so, so smart. Cassandra and I are going to do, we're working on a team Zoom party. And again, I'm encouraging her and Shannon, this is maybe something we need to look into, that no woman left behind. The goal is everyone active by the end of July. And so we schedule, so she's going to start sharing that vision with her team, giving them ideas, and we're doing a team Zoom party where Cassandra's going to talk about skincare and I'm going to talk about makeup, and encouraging each one to have at least 3 people on so that it's all of us together. Yeah, and Regina, let's do that also. Let's totally do that, Regina. Let's see. One last thing I want to encourage you with this year. I know we got to close. Has this been helpful, you guys? Has this been helpful? Yes. Oh, I'm getting honked at by a fire truck right now. Is preferred customer program. I believe the fall deadline is August 17th, if I'm not mistaken. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Build that customer list. You want a big, fat, juicy customer list. I've had orders every day, even on the 4th of July, since July 1st. Just people calling me, Kathy, I need this, Kathy, like literally after this, I'm going to sit down. Well, I'm going to go for a walk with Nathan. Then I'm going to sit down and make sure everything, right? And that is the overflow of a big, fat, juicy customer base that is touched once a quarter, for sure, for sure. So, and sometimes we get afraid, like, well, what if I have a customer base of 100, 300, 400, 500? Oh my gosh, my August 17th. Thank you, Stephanie. Together we make one whole person. And you think, oh my gosh, I don't want to spend $300. Now, I will tell you, one customer order will pay for that. But if for whatever reason that's not in your budget, then send it to your top 25 people and everybody else gets the lookbook link. Don't not follow up, or don't be all or nothing and not send the books at all. Send it to your top 25 people and then everybody else gets the lookbook link. But then that's the follow-up. The fortune is in the follow-up. So last thing, I want to say this really quick. So that's our daily. That's our daily. And then I've been journaling this out. Let me get my journal real quick. So my personal monthly goal is 10. Let me make sure I'm telling this right. I wrote it in my journal. 10 parties a month, either for myself or with my unit members. And that can be beauty bars at my kitchen table, which I have 2 scheduled. That can be Salt Church and really working on inviting people there. That can be like the Zoom party with Cassandra. So for my goal is 10 parties a month, my own or with unit members, and then 30 chats a month for myself or unit members. You guys, if we're doing that or shooting for that, even doing half of that, there is no reason that these goals can't come true. So if we are doing the daily power hours 5 days a week, we're starting with God first thing in the morning. We're planning our Sabbaths so we know we're going to get a chance to rest and recharge and obey God in that. We have our big vision of where we want to see ourselves by the end of the year. And then we go to work daily to fill in those trackers. A tracked number grows. And then we're shooting for whatever it is, 5 to 10 parties a month with yourself, with your team, and 15 to 30 chats a month. We're really, it's not that we're not enough. We're just not asking enough. We're just not doing enough. And you guys, when we carve out the time, the asks will be there. And if you ask somebody to listen and they say no, just pivot right back to product. Oh, I want to make sure this Wednesday is Epic Winning Wednesday with Brittany Jenks. Brittany Jenks, right? Why wouldn't we all flood out 25 invites to Brittany Jenks on Epic Winning Wednesday? Sit there in your stinking pajama pants and let Brittany Jenks talk to your prospects. And there's consultant drawings too. As a beauty consultant, why would you not be on there and win cash? I mean, what are you doing with yourself that you couldn't just sit on there and Regina's won $100 on there before. Your prospects could win $35, right? So we have everything in place, you guys. Our Peek into Pink Tuesday, our Thursday night, there's places to plug in, you guys. Make the most of it. Make the most of it. Fill up that notebook. Cross people off that say no. Don't be afraid of that. The no's, like Arlene said, the no's will never hurt you, but the yeses will make your world. But guess what? You got to have the no's to get to the yeses. You got to have the no's to get to the yeses, okay? A setback is just a setup for a comeback. And all the work you do follows you. You have those new customers. You have those team members that you wouldn't have had if it weren't for the work that you tried, right? It follows you into the new year. So real quick before we close, and we only have a couple of minutes, just popcorn real quick. What are you excited about? What's your vision? Just real quick, who wants to share?
Well, I'm excited about the new tracking sheets, especially for the Princess and Queen Court of Sales. I really like those.
I have a lot to share, so I don't know if I can popcorn it, but I just am so proud of you, Kathy, and watching you navigate that whole thing. And it encouraged me to share my goal. I have been hesitant to share my goal because if I don't make it, it's like a failure. And I'm over that now. People need to know what's going on. And um, I think you are more respected if you state a goal, stick to a goal, keep sharing that goal. And even if you don't make it, people are just, they're proud of you because you put yourself out there and you tried. And so going back to something very practical, like I'm excited about that diamond tennis bracelet. It's 7 inches long. I'm going to get my tape measure out and see how big 7 inches is because I need a concrete. But I've told you before, I have set the goal for Queen's Quarter personal sales over and over and over for 30 years before I did it. And I had to question myself, what makes me quit on myself? And again, Kathy helped me to see something very practical when she was a single mom, how she said, my mortgage is $1,100. How am I going to sell until I get to $1,100? She had a beginning date, she had an ending date because the bank doesn't care. If whatever, they want their $1,100. So, um, just to have that concrete, I had to sell this much today in order to make my house payment. I think if we each chose one bill that we could not let ourselves down on, and maybe it's a savings goal. I have a savings goal. I have an emergency fund I want to build up. And I think just very practical things. I've I've said before, a little Mary Kay every day. I'm preaching to myself when I say that, but I think a morning something and an evening something. So Mary Kay herself taught 6 most important things list, and I've tried to figure out what's the best way to do that. Is it to write that list at night and look at it again in the morning, or is it to write it in the morning and that's what we're doing today, and at night go, what did I get done today? What goes on tomorrow's 6 most important things list? I know I have let myself down so many times. You can show me a picture of a bumblebee for 100 years, and I will let myself down. And I've had to question myself on why I let myself down. And I think some of these very practical things need to happen, and the prizes will just come.
I love that. And I know we're over. I would like to just keep going for a couple more minutes in case anybody, but if anybody needs to jump off, that there's no, you're not going to hurt anybody feeling, it hurt my feelings or whatever. But I want to give, because Cassandra, do you want to say something? I think Cassandra wanted to say something.
I do, and thank you so much. And Amy, I love your vision and the things that you just said. Just really inspirational. But I'm excited about all the women I know that God has shown me that I'm going to touch this year. Whether it's physically touch them or with some type of product from my clothing boutique. Mary Kay will be in my boutique. So all the women that I know that will be touched by our Mary Kay family, by the vision that God has put in my heart and the things that I'm learning from all of you, the ladies that are on this call as well. So thank you for sharing your hearts. It's not easy to do that. So thank you for sharing those things.
Absolutely. Thank you. Anybody else? I want to give anybody an opportunity to share that wanted to share.
Yeah, I just want to say quickly that I love how you mentioned a change of place, change of pace. And I've been learning like if I'm not I don't know, just really feeling what I need to feel, I get up and move around. And so I love that. I love that I'm not where God has me. I'm stationed where I can walk to like 4 Starbucks, if that makes sense. And I'm just so grateful for the opportunity that it continues to give and give and give. And watching you, Kathy, just, oh my gosh, I cannot explain it. Your perseverance, just, oh my gosh, just, you got superpower, girl. That's all I got to say. And God is good. So I love you guys, and I can't wait. This year is about to be explosive.
Love it. I love it. Yes. Anybody else before we close? Please don't feel like you can't take a minute and say something. I wanted to give everybody the chance. I don't usually go over, but Shannon or Patty, is there anything on your heart? And if there's not, that's okay. If you're just kind of taking it in, that's okay too. Okay. Well, so here's the challenge. put up that poster board. If the only thing you do is put that tracking sheet, right? I gave you all those graphics, get that tracking sheet, the one of the national court of sharing in sales. And again, if the big court is too much, cut it in half, cut it in fourth, and let's start building our future. If you did it once, you can do it again. We are building our future, and it is, I can promise you, always worth it. Let's contribute to the strength of our company. Let's contribute to the strength of these units and our Mary Kay family. And let's go bless and serve women with this one of a kind tool that we have. And you know what? It's going to be the best seminar ever. It's not my highest unit club or car, but we are going to have so much fun. Everyone's going to say, who are those girls? Why are they so lucky? It is going to be the best. We are going to look back on this seminar and say, it was the best ever. And I can't wait. So July 26th, you guys, you still have time to either get your units or get your units, get your team members or get yourself registered. And hey, God loves you so much. May he bless you beyond all you can dare to ask or think. And go listen to the $1 Million Message, listen to Kristen Sharp's message, and look for that Points to Paradise on your reports. Find that report, and let's just keep building something wonderful for God's glory. I love you. I mean it. Have a great night.